Hi, I'm Brian Heidelberger, a partner with the law firm of Loeb & Chicago, and here today with another mini advertising law lesson.
The settlement in House versus NCAA is in, and it's a game changer for brands hiring student D1 athletes as endorsers. So what does this mean? Well, D1 schools that opt in can now pay their athletes directly out of their athletic budgets. Although schools aren't required to opt in, if they don't, they can't pay students directly, but their students can still enter into NIL deals. So how does NIL work now? Well, all deals over $600 have to now be submitted by the student athletes for approval to a clearinghouse. This clearinghouse will help ensure deals are legitimate marketing arrangements and not disguised pay-for-play recruiting inducements. Schools are required to have systems in place to monitor and report NIL activity by their athletes, and the schools themselves are the ones on the hook. If they drop the ball, they could face fines, reductions in their revenue sharing pools, transfer restrictions, or even multi-game suspension for coaches. But what about an athlete? Well, if an athlete is found to violate the rules, the most significant penalty is loss of their eligibility, meaning they can be benched or removed from the team by the school. There's no current indication that athletes can be fined, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, as to brands, there is also not much public detail on that, certainly not about direct penalties, but certainly if a brand knowingly participates in a non-compliant deal, it could face contract cancellation and, of course, reputational harm. So you may be wondering, are brands and schools competing with each other now? Well, not directly, but certainly indirectly for the athlete's attention and partnership. A D1 athlete can have a brand deal like a pizza company and a school deal at the same time, but ultimately both are competing for the athlete's time, focus, and endorsements. And if an athlete's getting a lot of money from their school, they might be more selective about brand deals, demanding higher compensation in other terms.
Hello.
So what does all this mean for brands when they're engaging D1 athletes? Well, certainly brands should expect to pay more. School payments are going to be increasing athletes' baseline income, so they're a lot less likely to accept low-value NIL deals. And even though school and brand deals are complementary, athletes now will have more leverage and brands are going to need to offer more compelling terms. There's no question that brands will face more compliance now and more scrutiny. The clearinghouse review is subjective. A lot of past deals, especially those from booster collectives, won't pass muster under this new system. And of course, negotiations are going to be tougher because top athletes now have more leverage. Sorry folks, use of school IP rules haven't changed. School logos, uniforms, facilities can't be used without explicit permission, and if a school already has an exclusive deal with a competing brand, that's obviously going to impact what they might approve. As I always say, let's be careful out there. There's still open questions that can impact these deals. States are already challenging the framework, and yes, settlement rules are being implemented, but listen, if a court rules otherwise, things could change. Brands should keep an eye on the news and be ready to adjust their strategy if the legal landscape shifts. Looking ahead, I expect to see brands shifting more of their budget toward athlete influencers, especially at this D1 level. Stats show that spending on athlete influencer grew by 32%, while non-athlete influencer spending over the same time period only grew by 14%. Athlete influencers now make up 20% of all influencer marketing spend in the US, and it will be growing.
So I hope this information is helpful, and until next time, let's be careful.